I mean, the Golden State Valkyries didn't just beat the Las Vegas Aces, they kicked their whole ass. 68-95. The Las Vegas Aces can only score 68 points with the squad that they have. What is going on in Las Vegas right now?
The Las Vegas Aces, yes, the team stacked with 4 U.S. Olympians and 3-time MVP Aya Wilson, just got crushed by 27 points. And the team that pulled it off? The Golden State Valkyries. Meanwhile, their once underrated rookie Kate Martin is thriving in San Francisco, probably enjoying a smoothie and smiling at the box score. Not only did her new team dominate the Aces, but she also shined in her new role. If you're rooting for Kate, drop a Money Martin in the comments. Let's go.
All right, I got to give a shout out to Golden State Valkyries because boy, did they put an ass whooping on Vegas. Boy. And I'm not talking about some 15-point win. No, this is a 4-quarter, 27-point spanking in front of a sold-out crowd in Golden State. Vibes was immaculate. Love to see.
But here's the twist. While the basketball world continues to treat Aya Wilson like untouchable royalty, her team is falling apart fast. And now, it's all starting to make sense. Kate Martin might have been the missing piece all along. The energy, the drive, the glue that quietly kept the Aces dynasty hopes alive.
On paper, they should be kicking everybody's ass. Literally everybody. Like, A'ja Wilson put the entire Aces on her back and is doing everything she can to help her team, and it's just not going anywhere.
The numbers don't lie. A 95-68 blowout. Vegas's worst loss since 2023. And it wasn't against a reigning champ or a powerhouse team. It was an expansion squad. A team that should still be figuring out the basics. Instead, they were dominating Vegas like it was a training drill. This wasn't just an off night, it was a meltdown. And it all traces back to the moment Kate Martin's name was called in that expansion draft.
I lost a lot, okay? And so I was like, yeah, we gotta wait. Give them time. But we just sat up here and lost by damn near 30 to an expansion team? Come on now.
Remember when the Aces left Kate Martin unprotected? The media barely reacted, the team didn't flinch, and Aya Wilson gave that now famous, "It is what it is," like they'd lost a spare water bottle. But here's the truth. In this game, wins are what matter. And without Kate Martin, Vegas has been stacking up losses.
Had, our rookie from last year, okay, Kate Martin, the Iowa girl, you know what I'm talking about, who rolled in this thing with Caitlin, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, when she was coming on our bench last year, she was the Valkyrie, okay? And she had more boards with 7 than the best player in the world had with 6, okay? Also, Kate Martin, to make it even worse, had more points by her damn self than Jackie Young and Jewel Lloyd put together. Kate had 12. Them girls together had 9. The hell is going on?
The real story's simple. Las Vegas got cocky. They thought adding Jewel Lloyd would instantly fix everything. They banked on Aya Wilson's MVP magic to carry the team. But they misread the situation. Kate Martin wasn't just filling space. She brought energy, leadership, and grit. Even Aya admitted it. Martin was the voice in the locker room, the hustle on the court, the spark when pressure hit. That's not a role player, that's the engine. And now, she's firing on all cylinders in San Francisco, while Vegas can't even get off the line.
Our interest in the Valkyries, whatever you want to say, like, if anything, even if it's just a passing interest, there are people that are interested in the Valkyries. And they destroyed the Aces. I mean this when I say this. The Aces, I've never seen the Aces look this bad before, and the Valkyries are for real. They're 3-5 on the season, but they play so hard.
Let's break down the latest collapse against the Valkyries. Aya Wilson, often hailed as the league's face, managed just 17 points on a mediocre 5 for 13 shooting. Jackie Young disappeared offensively, adding only 8 points with just 1 made shot. And Jewel Lloyd, brought in to replace Kelsey Plum, put up a rough 6 points on 1 of 8 shooting. This is the so-called championship DNA. This is the dynasty everyone talks about. Coach Becky Hammon wasn't having it. She didn't sugarcoat a thing. "I'm not coaching effort," she said. Translation: if a coach has to question whether you even want to play, it's not a roster problem. It's a locker room meltdown.
Has there been a common denominator, a similarity between those games? The one was in Seattle, I believe.
Yeah. Following people around defensively, being really soft mentally, just letting people come out and punk us, hit us, grab us, and us whining instead of buckling down and saying, like, okay, that's what's going to be, then let's go. And I told them in there, I said, we have effort has to come from your heart. The schemes, the discipline, the habits, that's your head. And right now, we not only have a heart issue, but it's letting us affect our head issue. But I'm not going to coach effort. It's just one thing I can't deal with. You're in charge of your effort. I guess I'm in charge of your playing time, so that's the one way I can affect it. But I've never been a coach to pull for mistakes, but I will pull for effort.
The Aces were down by 21 at halftime and never came close to turning it around, giving up 95 points to a team still learning how to run a franchise. That 27-point beatdown was their worst loss since a 38-point blowout by the Liberty in August 2023. But the real embarrassment? That Liberty game happened when Aya had an off night with just 9 points. This time, she scored 17, and they still got crushed. While Vegas is stuck soul-searching and taking losses from rookie squads, Kelsey Plum, traded away in the offseason, is lighting it up in LA. In her Sparks debut, she exploded for 37 points, setting a WNBA record for the most in a season opener, hitting 11 of 19 shots and going perfect from the line.
So Kelsey Plum won't never come out loud and sit here and say she happy to be the number one dog, not be able to drive her own car at her own speed. But you could tell in her body language that she was absolutely happy to be able to do what she want out on the floor and just really get to her spots, really run her team the way she want to. And she showed you she can be a lead dog. 37 points for your first debut as a LA Spark, man. Hats off to Kelsey Plum.
And it wasn't just about the points. Plum made history, becoming the first WNBA player to drop at least 35 points, 5 assists, and 5 steals in a single game. That's not just a hot start. That's rewriting records while her former team scrambled for answers. Even better, she did it against the Valkyries, the same team that just embarrassed the Aces and had Coach Hammon questioning her squad's effort. Plum showed out and sent a loud message. Sometimes you don't realize how much you were held back until you're finally free.
Plum led the team with 28 points, 6 3-pointers, and 8 assists. She has been on a tear to start the season. I'm low-key surprised she has been mentioned in MVP talks. Granted, Nafisa Collier is my pick to win MVP, but I definitely think Kelsey Plum should get some love.
The Sparks needed a spark, and Plum delivered big time. She's averaging 25.2 points and 5.5 assists per game, hitting threes at a scorching 43.4%. That's not just a comeback. That's MVP-level play from someone the Aces once called a complimentary piece. And here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to admit. Aya Wilson has been coasting on superstar status while her teammates carried just as much weight. Now that she's the undisputed leader, the cracks are showing. She's been held under 20 points in 4 of her last 5 games, compared to just 3 times all of last season. If you're really the best, you don't fade when your team needs you most.
While Kelsey's success hasn't yet translated into overall success for the LA Sparks, not seeing as many wins as we'd assume with the amount of stats that she's putting up, I mean, she is exactly what the Sparks needed. She's able to read the floor, make plays, also being a very consistent offensive force, and she's Kelsey Plum. And so after ESPN's article came out, the conversation around MVP and Kelsey Plum have been sort of happening at the same time. With a lot of people saying that while it may be way too early, Kelsey Plum is currently leading that race.
In the eye test, it's rough. Wilson looks like she's carrying the whole team, forcing shots and second-guessing every move, because deep down, she knows this squad isn't championship material anymore. Her stats might look solid, but the Aces are 4-3 and just suffered back-to-back blowouts. That's not elite leadership. That's empty numbers while the team sinks. Remember when Wilson admitted the vibes were off? She straight up said, "We ain't got it," before the season even started. But here's the reality. If you're the face of the franchise, a 3-time MVP, the culture in that locker room falls on you. If things feel off, it starts with you.
Time for a shot. Martin, fire away!
And because the basketball gods love a good plot twist, guess who's coming to Vegas on June 11th? The Aces will host the Sparks. Yep, Kelsey Plum is returning, not as a former favorite, but as the leader of a team playing better basketball than the dynasty she left behind. The Aces already did the tribute video, the hugs, the standing ovation. Nice moment. But this time, Plum's back as a rival star who's outshining Aya Wilson. Her numbers are better, her leadership is sharper, and she's playing with the kind of calm confidence that says, "I made the right call." When asked about life in LA, Plum joked that figuring out DoorDash is harder than basketball. That's the energy of someone who's thriving. Meanwhile, Wilson's stuck trying to carry a team that just got run over by an expansion squad.
When she played with the Wings and even when she played with the Sparks, like, she is one of them bully ball. Oh, like, she just plays so strong, so aggressive on the defensive end, on the offensive end, making those dives for the loose ball, like just using her body to its fullest capacity. But I do love the way that Kelsey Plum helped spread the floor, because Derrick Henry really didn't have to go in the paint and really do a bunch of even though she did get a double-double, but she didn't have to do crazy Mama D type of banging. And because like last year to get the Sparks to win games, Mama D was down that thing putting in the work. She had to put on her hard hat and had to put in a lot of.
Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The Las Vegas Aces came into the 2024 season flaunting back-to-back titles from 2022 and 2023, acting like they were untouchable. They went all in on Aya Wilson as the foundation of a dynasty, assuming everyone else was just along for the ride. But here's the truth. Championships aren't won by one star's resume. They're built on chemistry, culture, and role players who fit just right. The Aces had that with Kate Martin and Kelsey Plum. Martin brought grit, poise, and clutch presence. Plum was the scorer who saved them when Wilson struggled or the offense stalled. Together, they were the glue that held everything together, something you can't replace with a quick fix. But instead of holding on to that core, the Aces gave Martin away to an expansion team and traded Plum for Jewell Loyd, who's now putting up backup-level numbers, not star stats. And it's not like the warning signs weren't there. Go back to the 2024 playoffs. They got bounced in the semis by the Liberty and didn't even reach the finals. That should have been a wake-up call. Instead, they hit snooze, bet everything on Wilson, and let two key championship pieces walk. Now, they're stuck watching the wheels come off.
With Kelsey Plum being one of them, she now plays for the LA Sparks, after playing 6 seasons with the Las Vegas Aces. And while it's super early into the season, it's only been 2 weeks, Kelsey Plum has been thriving in LA. She's currently averaging 25.2 points per game, currently the second highest in the league, followed only by Napheesa Collier. She also has a career-best 5.5 assists per game. And while Kelsey's success hasn't yet translated into overall success for the LA Sparks, not seeing as many wins as we'd assume with the amount of stats that she's putting up, she is exactly what the Sparks needed. She's able to read the floor, make plays, also being a very consistent offensive force, and just, she's Kelsey Plum. And so after ESPN's article came out, the conversation around MVP and Kelsey Plum have been sort of happening at the same time.
Here's something that should have Aces fans sweating. The Vegas betting markets have moved on. Aya Wilson is no longer the oddsmakers' favorite, and the smart money is now on teams with real depth, balance, and leaders who don't fold under pressure. Teams with players like Kate Martin and Kelsey Plum, because those two get it. Basketball isn't about flash or headlines. It's about doing the little things that turn solid teams into champions. Meanwhile, Vegas is stuck in denial, clinging to a fading superstar narrative that's crumbling under the scoreboard. The Aces didn't just lose a couple of players. They lost their identity. They let ego override what actually worked, thinking star power alone would carry them. They forgot their strength was in cohesion, hustle, and the trust that anyone on the floor could deliver. Plum and Martin weren't just nice pieces, they were irreplaceable. And now that they're thriving elsewhere, the difference couldn't be clearer. Wilson, now expected to carry it all, doesn't look like an MVP. She looks like a solo act flopping on stage while the rest of the band is out selling out arenas.
We're seeing AJ Wilson get Ronda Rousey. The Ronda Rousey comparisons. Not the Ronda Rousey. Like, this might be, in my opinion, the most disrespectful thing anyone's ever said about AJ Wilson. She reminds me of Ronda Rousey. Put two H's in Ronda Rousey for no reason. But when the competition wasn't that great, she looked like a megastar. But now with these new players up and coming and the quality of WNBA, she's looking very mediocre.
This 27-point beatdown by the Valkyries wasn't just a fluke. It was a reality check. You don't get blown out of home by a brand new franchise unless something's seriously wrong. It's like a rookie walking into a 5-star kitchen and showing up the head chef. At some point, it's not about bad nights. It's about a broken system. And yes, Kate Martin is smiling gracefully, but with every right to. She's not bitter, she's proven. She's always known greatness isn't about star names or stat sheets. It's about building something that holds up when it counts. She didn't walk away from the Aces walked away from her. And now they're learning what life looks like without their heart and hustle. Spoiler, it's rough. They thought Martin and Plum were replaceable. Instead, they gave up their soul. And now the league is watching them get outplayed by teams they used to brush off. The question isn't if Martin and Plum are better off. We see that in the standings. The real question is how long Vegas will keep pretending they didn't just make the biggest mistake in franchise history. At this pace, that truth is hitting soon, maybe before this season's final buzzer. If you support Kate, comment Money Martin down below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Click the video on screen. We'll see you in the next one.